Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 34 of the Monday Weekend Wrap-Up. We've got a very special show this evening. Full 2 hours of programming just for you at home. Yes, you. You, the football fan, the lifeblood of our society, the people who keep things moving when times are tough. And you've joined us on a very special episode. It is episode 34. This episode is dedicated to the one and only Granit Xhaka. Yes, number 34 for Arsenal, one of the greatest number 34s you will ever see in your life. And without any further ado, let's meet our guests for the evening. Joining us from Columbus, Ohio, we have Mr. HoffSpur. Hoff, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Let's just get that volume of yours up there. There we go. And also joining us, as always, we have Mr. Milothe1st. Milo, how you doing?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
Doing good. Hoff, give me a hello real quick.
Hello.
Can you bust your volume up just to crank a bit? Give me a bit of Hoff. And let me check. Let me reduce mine as well. We good? Milo, how you doing? How's your evening going? How is the Canadian Thanksgiving going?
I mean, yeah, it's been great. I was saying earlier, I've had a free house this afternoon. It's been quiet, peaceful. It's been very nice.
Very nice. Hoff, how is your Canadian Thanksgiving in the States?
I don't practice that.
You don't practice that?
I don't.
Oh my God. Hold on, let me. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Just checking a couple levels. Well, guys, we got a lot to talk about. We have a special guest joining us. When we get to the Premier League and on, he'll be joining us. First time on the show. Very excited to have a new face, or a new voice, I should say. Non-streamer. So as per usual, non-streamers do not require a camera because at first, whatever. But if you're going to be a regular, we would like you to have a camera. He can. I don't know if you know. Can you hear us? Can you hear backstage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they can.
Okay. Well, he can hear us. First topic for the evening, guys. Before we get into our normal football roundup, we had a very special, a new happening in the world, not just the football world. The Oxford English Dictionary has added 15 football terms that'll be added before the start of next month's World Cup. We have the Cruyff turn, guys. When I say Cruyff turn, what do you think of? Anything in particular?
Johan Cruyff.
Oh,
Johan Cruyff, yeah,
Cruyff
and his turn.
Destroying a defender.
Okay, how about this one? False nine has been added to the Oxford Dictionary. When you think of false nine, who's the first false nine you think of?
Ah.
I think of either Messi or Benzema.
In my lifetime, Messi, right? Pep with Messi at the false nine again in that Clásico. That's what I
Basically,
remember.
pick a player for Pep.
True. Yeah, Benzema. Who are some other famous? Would you consider? No, Giroud, not really. He's a bit. He can drop deep a little bit, but no, I wouldn't call him a false nine. Anyone for Pep, pretty much. Also, in the Italian national team, they use a bit of false nines too, right? Another word is Gegenpress, a borrowing from German. I was looking for this in the dictionary definition, but they do not say originated by the godfather of Gegenpress, Ralf Rangnick, which I've seen other places. Any thoughts about Gegenpress?
It's really annoying when people do it on eFootball.
It is a little annoying.
Yes.
It is.
It's, yeah. Yep.
We have the Panenka, named after Antonin Panenka. That's got to be pretty cool if you're a descendant of the Panenkas. Your name is in the dictionary. Well, actually, your last name's in the dictionary, Milo.
I mean, yes, it is.
Technically, right? We don't have to say what it is, but for those of you who know, the diehards of the channel will know. what that is.
The tier 3 subs.
Yeah.
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 We also have Park the Bus added to the Oxford Dictionary. Park the Bus. Originally after the Portuguese estacionar o autocarro. Autocarro. That's a Portuguese for park the bus. Apparently, Jose Mourinho.
Yeah.
Mourinho claimed that this is what Spurs had done against his Chelsea team in 2004, playing in such a negative way that they might as well have put their team coach in the goal mouth. Anyways. Yeah. So it was, anyways. Rabona, after the, it's Argentinian Spanish, actually, Rabona. That's in the dictionary. We have outfield. I'm not sure if that's a football-specific term. Over the top, in sporting context, up and over the top of a person or thing, over the head of an opposing player. Rosed. Squeaky bum time is going in the dictionary as well, which is pretty interesting.
When did the dictionary start doing phrases? No,
I was wondering.
I thought it was
that.
just words.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like being an encyclopedia or something?
A thesaurus, maybe? I don't know. Squeaky
I'm not
bum time,
sure.
for those that don't know, means like edge of your seat stuff. Like late in a game, you're holding on to a lead, you're under it's squeaky bum time.
Under the cosh. Right, that's a
Yeah.
phrase. Under the cosh. What is a cosh? I don't know what a
I
cosh
think
is.
that's something that you would beat somebody with.
Oh, jeez.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like a
Nice.
club.
Oh, jeez. Growing up, there was a place called Oshkosh. That was like
there's
a...
Oshkosh in Wisconsin.
Isn't that like a... I don't know what it is.
It's a
But yeah,
clothing
actually,
company as
funny
well.
enough about Squeaky Bum Time, in Ten Hag's post-match interview, the reporter asked him about Squeaky Bum Time, and Ten Hag did not know what Squeaky Bum Time was, which
You
was...
should have read the dictionary.
Yeah,
Something else negative about your manager.
Hey, I brought it up, by the way. Just let me under the cash. There you go, under the cash. Tiki Taka is added to the dictionary as well. Top scoring, I guess that's added. Total football, after Dutch total voetbal, Twecarista. There you go. When I think of Trequarista, what do you think of?
I don't think I've ever heard that word.
Oh, so the definition here they've given is an attacking player who is kind of the space between midfielders and attackers. So basically like a 10, kind of like
Gotcha.
a Zidane or
Got
something,
the,
maybe.
the
Dennis Bergkamp.
splendid Riquelme.
Dennis Riquelme, only 52 caps for Argentina, by the way, from last week. Firmino. Oh, Firmino's a good false nine as well.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, speaking of Firmino and the Liverpool, I think it's a good time to bring in our guest. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Yeah?
Do
Let's
it.
just bring
Let's
him
bring
in.
him
here.
in.
Joining us, long-time chatter, first-time appearance on the show, we have Mr. Mordecai. Mordecai, welcome in.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
Good evening.
Doing
Good morning.
Good. We're doing good.
It's all right. I wouldn't say it's good. Not everything is well in Liverpool land right now.
Yes, guys. So Mordecai is a Liverpool supporter, and we hope to have him on in the future, and other fans of other clubs as well. Other Liverpool, I know Soccer Tour. There's talks of Soccer Tour joining us as well. But we're very happy to have Mordecai joining us this week. Yeah. So Trecarista, you think Firmino's the greatest Trecarista? It's a hard word to say
Yeah,
5 times fast.
I mean, the way he plays, he's kind of like not a striker, but plays that striker role.
Right.
And so he's kind of like in between. Some people would call him he's our first defender foremost. So he's kind of like a defensive attacker, which is really weird. But he always chips in the goal, so it's kind of weird to really place him in a somewhere on the team, like in a defined position. But I think that's the best spot for him.
Absolutely. He's been doing really well. And, let's just get straight into it, guys. we had a big Premier League clash this weekend. Arsenal versus Liverpool at the Emirates. 3-2. Exciting game. Probably one of the best games of the season so far, I'd say. Always an exciting encounter. Martinelli playing amazing. Darwin Núñez getting on the scoreboard. Milo, why don't you take it away? Tell us your thoughts about the game.
Sure, it was a great game. I'm sure for neutrals it was very enjoyable. Obviously, when you're in it, it's a little bit more stressful. And we haven't taken 3 points off Liverpool for a long time, so I was very happy to get the win. I know there's some controversial moments in the game. I don't want to dwell too much on those. I guess it's easier for me to move past those because we got the win. But again, we've talked about it in the Discord endlessly. There's a lot of inconsistency in the refereeing. Maybe Mordecai will elaborate on that a little bit more. But for me, I thought Martinelli was excellent. I thought Tomiyasu actually was probably the other best player for us on the pitch, playing at left back. I mean, it's nice to know. We knew he could play right back and centre back. Now we know he can play left back, and very comfortably he handled both Salah. I mean, Salah didn't really do anything in the game. I think one time he kind of was causing some trouble on the edge of the box, but I thought Tomiyasu did really, really well. And I understand why Martinelli got man of the match. Oh. Echo. I got massive echo.
That was me. Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. No worries. I understand why Martinelli was man of the match, but I think Tomiyasu should be in for a shout with it, really, playing left back. And some people ask me if he keeping Tierney out the team. I think Tierney's still getting match fitness, and I think that's the biggest reason that he's not starting that game. For me personally, that's what I think anyway. I thought Ben White was good. I thought Saliba was good. I mean, we did concede 2 goals as well, so we have to take that into consideration. Early lead. I wasn't surprised Liverpool got back into it. They've shown they can come back from deficits already this season. But yeah, overall, I'm just really happy that we got 3 points. Arteta finally gets a good result against Klopp, and we're still top, which means very, very little at this stage, as we know. But a good run of games coming up, and I've kind of got my eye on the fixtures, thinking, it'd be nice to break for the World Cup still in this position as an Arsenal fan. That's where I'm at.
Absolutely. You spoke about the early goal. That's the earliest goal Arsenal have scored against Liverpool in the Premier League. So yeah, pretty quick. Mordecai, do you want to give us your thoughts about the game?
Yeah, given that last year Arsenal didn't even score a goal against us, it's really tough to take this one in. I feel like Liverpool right now plays really dumb football. So we attack for the sake of attacking and expose our whole midfield because most of the attackers are not defending. And that exposes, so we had a 2-man midfield. So people said it was a 4-2-3-1, but really it was a 4-2-4.
Right.
We're trying to get everybody in there, and for some reason, I don't understand why Salah is really wide. I don't know if anyone's picked up on this, but Salah plays so wide, and I've seen some of his heat maps, and he's just out there like in the corner flag. I don't understand if it's a Darwin thing. Even when we didn't have Darwin, he's kind of like hidden. I don't understand. And of course there's the Trent thing, and people are going to pick up on that, but I don't think it's totally Trent. So the attackers aren't defending and they're pressing, so our pressing game is gone. The midfielders, there's only 2 of them and they're playing deep. And so when the ball goes against them, they kind of join together off to one side and leave Trent exposed on that side. So of course the attack's going to go that way, because on one side you have Trent and on the other side you have Virgil van Dijk. What side are you going to pick? Even if Trent was doing well, you're still going to pick the Trent side. And
Right.
So I see 2-3 attackers on Trent's side, cut the ball in, and it's easy tap and goal for the second minute.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Yeah.
What
and
did
so
what did you think about Van Dijk's performance? So from my perspective, I was watching him. He seemed a little more engaged, a little more active. Usually he's like pretty passive, lets the game come to him, kind of strolls around. It seemed like he knew the energy that Arsenal was gonna bring, and
Yes.
he was trying to stay engaged. And I don't know. What did you think about his performance?
I haven't really had that big of a problem with Van Dijk. The reason why he's so calm all the time is because everything's come easy to him while
Yeah.
he's been with Klopp at Liverpool, and we retain possession most of the time, so it's not like he's under constant threat. I just feel like they're running around kicking the ball and trying to pass it at the same. They're kind of like in between minds of, do we kick it out or do we start the attack? It's been so ingrained in them that they have to counter, because that's usually how we get a lot of our goals, is countering. And the fact that now at this point in the season, you got to just kick the ball out to the end to wherever you can, and they're kind of caught in two minds.
Yeah.
As far as his defensive performance, I think we haven't. When you look at the Premier League stats, we really haven't conceded that much more goals than the other teams. I think we're 2 or 3 off of City right now in the EPL. Of course, that Napoli game skews everything.
Right.
I just think that there's something wrong in the midfield and in the attack, and it's overloading our defenders. They have to work harder, and they're
Right.
not used to that. And a lot of it has to do. I mean, we played every single game last season. I don't think enough people are talking about how many games we played last year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I mean, I have to give it up to Arsenal. They're good. I still don't think they have enough to win the league, especially from what I saw yesterday.
Sure.
It's just,
What kind of things, Hoff? Do you think Arsenal can win the title?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah, why not?
Okay.
They've done so well this far. They've won games so far this year that you would not expect them to lose last year, but that they would lose last year, if that makes sense.
Right.
We haven't got enough to beat Man City. I just can't see anyone stopping that train. So could we win the rest of the Premier League? Yes, I think we could. But I just think the Man City are gonna be. I mean, all we could hope for is that we keep this form up and we get a result against them at our place, because I can't see us doing it at the Etihad. And I don't think, we're a long way off from talking about title challenge. I just think the goal is top 4. I think that's what the team is talking about. That's what the inner workings of Arsenal. The goal is top 4, be in the Champions League. Anything else would be a bonus. I think. Yeah.
I also said yes just because we all saw Leicester win a title in our lifetime.
True.
I think, and literally anybody could. If that Leicester team, which was, we didn't know it, but they were stacked with talent. We just didn't know it at the time, and then they showed it over the course of 38 games. But yeah, that's also part of the reason I said yes, because I think if everything falls your way and you capitalize when the chance is there, then yeah, you can do it.
We're a team that's expected to compete for honors and titles and things because of our history and all the rest of it. But in the money era of football, we haven't. So, you know what I mean? Like Chelsea's rise that kind of started that is for me, like, I haven't seen the team be in that position. So the fact that we are now, and we have spent some money, but I think a lot of it is about Arteta's game plan. Sorry about that. That's the dog barking. Yeah, over to one of you. I'm going to take care of the dog here. Hang on a second.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Perennial second place finisher. I just got to say that, you guys don't understand how hard it is to win the Premier League. You guys remember like Leicester winning it, or back in the day when United used to win it? That was, baby's Premier League. now 90 points doesn't give you a Premier League. 92 points doesn't get you a Premier League. Really, drawing more than 4 games is almost you're not going to win the Premier League. It's just so different. It's so difficult now with what City has done that winning the Premier League is almost impossible. I mean, there's times when we've won 10 in a row, 12 in a row, and you draw that one time and it's over. It's a different Premier League now.
Okay, it's just real quick. The only thing I could see slowing down Arsenal is injuries, right? I think we could all maybe agree on that. The only thing that'll slow them down is injuries. If I look at the squad, Jesus is, I think, your most important player, right? It's got to be, Milo. Like, what do you think?
I do, but if you take out the just hitting, I think we're getting goals from everywhere, right? That's clear if you look at the results. Yes, Jesus is on the score sheet a few times, but we're getting goals from midfield, as well as goals from, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Xhaka. Xhaka's getting in on the act as well. You mentioned him in the intro to the show. He's having his best season in an Arsenal shirt, for me, without question. And I think when you see Eddie come on, I think Eddie shocked a lot of people last year in the job he did when he came in. Yes, we missed out on top 4 by 1 point, but Eddie played really well, scored some important goals, which, he knows he can do it in the Premier League. And I think if Jesus did have to sit out, I mean, he's probably going to have one out soon anyway, because he's 1 yellow card away from missing a game through suspension. So Eddie's going to be starting that game. And if Eddie doesn't start, if Smith Rowe's back, you could always push Martinelli up top and have Smith Rowe on the wing. So I think we've got some rotation there. I think they'd like an extra player. I think that was always the goal in the summer, was to bring in that winger/forward. And I think that will still be the target in January to help strengthen. But this group can get us to this World Cup break, and then, a busy Christmas schedule, and then straight back to it with the transfer window able to help. So I'm a little concerned, but I'm not as concerned as I thought I would be about the potential for injuries. DMF, CMF is still a thing, right?
You think that's the kind of the weak point for as far as depth goes, right?
I do. I think El Neni's fine as a bring him on with 10, 15 to go kind of player. I just don't think he's a Premier League, starter at DMF. And with Thomas Partey, we just don't know. Obviously, he's had some injury problems, personal issues aside. If those turn out not to be over, then we're going to be in the market for a new DMF anyway. So that would be a concern for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to some. Go ahead, Mordecai.
I was just going to say Zinchenko got injured, right? So, I mean, things are starting to get.
He's not out. Yeah, it's not a serious knock though.
Not
thankfully,
okay.
No. Yeah. And I was Soccer was talking about your. It was a shame that Diaz got hurt in that game, because I know he's.
I was going to get to that. I was just going to say that Diaz going out and Trent is out for 2 to 4 weeks. So it's a good thing we have City next week, right? Get that one out of the way right now.
We would have been right in that boat too, but that the game got postponed, and it's still not been rescheduled, I don't think. So it's actually it's kind of nice for us.
Yeah,
Diaz won't be back till January. So at this point, if we could scrape top 4, I would be so happy. That would be like Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. It always felt like Liverpool was in a bit of a. I mean, it's very early to say it, but based on what we were expecting from Liverpool and where we're at the beginning of the season, just a couple of weeks in, it felt like it was a year of transition.
We feel like I feel like we're a 90-year-old team right now, and we look like a 90-year-old team.
Yeah,
you can tell. It reminds me a little bit, not apples to apples, but it reminds me of that year, two consecutive windows where Tottenham didn't buy anybody, and the season immediately after, that was the season we made it to the Champions League final, which was okay. But that cat not investing in the squad 2 windows before that next season, that's when it shows up, and that's when you start to struggle. And I know they invested in Nunez and some younger kids, but I feel like just there were some other spots that could have been invested in heavier, I guess, or not. Like the midfield. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit, because they weren't planning for the future. I don't know. That's just the impression that I get of it.
Yeah,
No,
that's mainly to do with FSG, but
Okay.
we know how they playing that money ball. But we'll see. We'll see January if we can get somebody in. I'm hearing talks of maybe a Portuguese midfielder here and there. But, I mean, Bellingham's, if we don't get top 4, Bellingham's off the table probably.
Yeah.
So, dark times.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. I think these injuries aren't helping. The injuries aren't helping at all now. It's just making things bad to worse. And yeah, Diaz is gonna miss the World Cup as well. It's tough, just tough.
All teams have to go through these transition periods, though, right? When a team grows and grows and grows and gets to that point and wins something big, and then you've got to go through that transition season or 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a cycle, like everything else. I'm just waiting for that Man City cycle. I don't see it coming anytime soon.
No, Haaland just hit the reset button with Haaland.
Yeah, it really has.
On other, small details of the Arsenal game, a couple refereeing calls. A couple refereeing.
There's a couple of refereeing calls
Just
in
a
every
couple,
single
just a
game.
couple,
In
okay.
every single game, there's a couple of refereeing calls that we could. Let's not make out like this was any different to any other Premier League game, because it wasn't.
So
no. There's always
the
bad
first
calls.
One, the offsides. I don't know if you guys have seen the still of the offside for the first goal. His foot is like out there.
Yes. Yeah. No. So here's the deal with the offside, right? They didn't have the cameras calibrated.
Oh
That is the
Yeah.
issue with the
Sounds great.
Now that okay. Now is this the definition of home field advantage? I don't know. Did some dude in an Arsenal in the Arsenal stadium just kind of nudge the camera? Oh, uncalibrated.
Because he knew that there would be an incident exactly like that.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
let's end this discussion right there, because it's just ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous that you can't fix
It's
your
a
cameras
conspiracy.
without
I'm starting it
1
now.
I'm pretty sure that that the clubs themselves have nothing to do with where those are placed.
Yeah, no, it's just bush. It's just like it's ridiculous that this league would have this situation. It's crazy. That's like, I don't know, like what that's kind of a big deal. I'm not saying it's Arsenal did it or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just joking. But that's kind of wild that they would have it uncalibrated in that situation for such a big game, and 2 teams that play a high line. Arsenal were playing a crazy high line, by the way. Other one, the handball decision. Now, upon further review, at the time, I thought it was a clear handball. But the ball went off of his Gabriel. If the ball did not go off Gabriel's chest, which is what I learned it has since, the ball went off of Gabriel's chest. And that, I think, does excuse it to some extent. But that proximity, like from the foot of Jota, if it went straight onto Gabriel's hand, I think they would have called it. I did not know it went off of Gabriel's chest onto his hand. So that makes a little more sense to me. But I think if it went directly from Jota's hand or foot to Gabriel's hand, I think we've seen that called this season, and we would expect that to be called. But apparently there's some directives from the FA to the referees about proximity, which are not in the rule book, which is actually good. I agree with that.
It is good because if we go and stand in a field right now 2 yards apart, and I don't tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm doing some trickery, and then I boot the ball as hard as I can, and it hits you in the hand because you just didn't have a chance to get it out of the way, then that's not a penalty.
No, that's where we disagree. That's where we disagree. It's my job, if I'm in the box, to have my hands by my side. That's it. It doesn't matter whether you're going to kick it, whether you're not going to kick it, whether I know where the ball's going, if I don't know where the ball's going. My job, when you're in possession of the ball, if I know you're going to kick at some point, I need to have my hands by my side. There's no rule that says a defender has to run with their hands by their side. Down if I'm defending the ball. If I'm defending the ball.
There's no rule about that.
There's no rule about running with your hands by your side, but keeping your hands close to your body is a common practice by defenders.
I mean, this guy was out there doing the W.
He did have his hands pretty high.
I think if you watch it in real time without the benefit, obviously they have the benefit of the replays, right? In real time, I just think that as he runs down and that change in momentum, I just don't think that he's a Jedi that can move his arm to that exact position. Like when it leaves the player's foot in the time it takes to get there, like he's just not that fucking quick.
Did you see how fast he took the hand in afterwards, though?
Yeah, because if you've played football, you'll know it's a natural reaction. If it does bounce off your arm, you pull your arm away. It's just a natural reaction. I've done it. I mean, I would question anyone that says they've not had that, where the ball hits you in the arm and you just instinctively pull your arm out the way. Like
Are you saying that Gabriel intentionally handled the ball then?
I'm not, but some people are.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
So if it isn't intentional, it shouldn't be a penalty.
Well, that's not the rule today, though. That's the thing. I agree. It shouldn't be. But, I intentionally didn't rob a bank or something, Like, I don't know. Like, it's like... It doesn't matter if it's intentional handball. If your hand's in an unnatural position, it's been being called. Now it went off his chest, and I understand now that it went off his chest. And yeah, that changes things a little bit. That changes things a little bit because it was a deflection.
This could all easily be cleaned up if they just made it like it used to be, which is that if it's not an intentional handball, it shouldn't be a penalty.
But you can't. It's so hard to because that just opens it up to tons of subjectivity. I think it's better to just, if your hands are making your body bigger,
it only opens up to subjectivity of people like us that are discussing it. To be honest, the only person whose view matters is the referees.
The problem is the referees aren't consistent. I mean, we all saw the calls this weekend.
Listen, man,
sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't.
I've seen plenty of penalties given against Arsenal that I don't think were penalties. So it's just swings and roundabouts. It's part of football.
I mean,
these guys in chat are making some crazy analogies, by the way.
Arsenal were the better team. I'm not going to deny that, and they deserve the win. I'm just saying that specific instance of play, it was a little. It felt like the chips were stacked against us. I'm not going to lie.
And I mean, I would feel sorry for you, but I don't, because it's happened to us a million times.
Yeah, as far as that goes, whatever. If it levels out or doesn't level out, that's not what I'm talking about. That's what it is. I'm just saying, why do defenders? So you're saying defenders shouldn't put their arms behind their back ever?
No, that's not what I said. No.
You're saying they're not, it's not in the rule book to put your arms behind your back. I never
said defenders should never put their arms behind their back. That sentence never left my mouth.
But you're saying it's not a rule to keep your hands out of the by your side.
It is not a rule to run with your arm straight down beside you. No, it's not a rule to do that as a defender.
If your opponent is about to kick the ball and you're in the box, don't you think it's your responsibility to keep your arms by your side?
If you're running full speed back towards your byline, okay, and then you suddenly change in direction, you have no idea if the pass that the player is about to make is going to be in the air, on the floor.
Absolutely.
You don't know if he's going to flick it up and kick it over your head.
Agree.
You have no
agree.
idea, right?
Completely agree.
So as you're running back, you're not thinking about, you might not be thinking about, okay, I'm going to make sure my hands are down here this exact moment.
You better.
No.
Yes.
No. Rubbish.
You have to. That's your job as a defender.
We're here to play football. And these
Part
things
of football
happen,
is not
man,
using
like,
your arms. You can't use your arms in football. It's called football.
I never said to use your arm. I'm just saying that he's running. But watch it in real time. Don't watch the slowed down replays. Watch it in real time.
This occasion, it went off his chest, and I understand why they didn't call it. I would be.
Oh, but yet we're still making this handball. This maybe handball has now become the biggest issue of the show. Why then?
Forget about Arsenal. Forget about Arsenal and Liverpool. This is about the rules. This is just about the rules. Right? How are you? If you open it up to intentional or unintentional, you're opening it up to another massive can of worms that is going to lead to massive inconsistency, and you're going to see more incidents that make problems. Now, I will say in this specific incident, it went off his chest, so that was info at the time I had no idea about. But if it did not go off his chest, and it went into his hand cannot be up here when you're defending. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're running back 150 miles per hour or you have blindfolds on. If you're defending and you're in the box, your hand cannot be up here. It can't be up here.
I agree with Greg. How are you supposed to have mobility without your arms moving? Like it's just at that exact split second.
What are you guys talking about?
As he turns, his arm comes up as he turns. Like it just happens, man. Like it's not that big a deal. It's not something where you have to. Now all defenders have to run like robots with their arms down beside their face. But now wait 1 second. If the attacking player had stopped the ball at the byline and they squared up and they're face to face, then I'm expecting Gabriel to do what defenders do, where they put their hands behind their back. But when you're running and it suddenly gets crossed in, that's when I'm expecting it to happen. Not the way that one played out, and that was just one play of like a million different plays that could have occurred from that exact position.
Why do penalties happen? Okay? Why does when Neymar dribbles past somebody, he draws penalties? What, like if a defender catches him, right? The defender doesn't know he's going to cut back behind him, right? The defender doesn't know that. What is he supposed to do?
Yeah, but he's trying to tackle and he might mistime the tackle. Yeah.
Exactly. Just same way, if your arm's out here, that's on you. You're not anticipating the play.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're not going to agree on this, so it is what it is. And for me, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal.
It's not about agreeing. It's about.
Well, it must be, because otherwise this conversation would have been over. If I agreed with you, this conversation would be finished. But it's not, because we're not agreeing.
Okay, that's fair enough. But the point is that if you can't, as a defender, I played defender. You can't run with your arm out. You put your arm down, right? If you have to anticipate a cross. If you can't anticipate a cross, that is your mental being lower.
You can anticipate a cross.
Exactly.
You can. But if I want you to go outside and sprint as hard as you can back towards the byline and stop on a dime. And I guarantee you, when you try to stop and turn, your arms will automatically, naturally come up unless you physically restrain yourself from doing it.
Then what's the point of playing against people?
Then why don't we see defenders running with their arms down beside their side the whole time? No, you don't. You don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh my God, guys. You don't see them running full pelt backwards like that. You do not.
If you're running alongside a player with the ball, okay? And it's, for example, Diogo Jota, quicker than me, right? Quicker than me and faster than me. And
you will see
he could cross at any time. I'm going to keep my arms to my side, man. I'm sorry.
Then send me a video of that, because you'll see it when they're strafing sideways or diagonal.
You want me to do it right now?
Listen, when they're strafing diagonally or sideways, when a player is squared onto them, you will see them do that. Okay, you won't see it when they're running, like I don't know, what is it, perpendicular? I don't know if the word's correct. parallel together, like straight down towards the byline, you're not going to see the defender turn, have his arms down behind his side, and do the crab run, because it won't be as fast. Like, it's fucking simple.
Well, and that's his fault. That's his disadvantage.
Oh my god. No,
you want to give all the advantage. You want to take all the training that Diogo Jota did on being fast and quick and getting the ball out of his feet, and take all that training. I'm just glad
that you aren't in charge of the rules of football.
No, well, I'm not, but I do adhere to the rule book, unlike other people, you know.
Sure. So what did we didn't adhere to the rule book then in that incident? Is what you're saying? No.
There's some other directive from the FA to the referees saying that take proximity into account. In that incident, it came off his chest, and that's the proximity that they're going by, I think. Not from where the ball is kicked.
You think. The key there is you think. You do not know.
I don't know.
This is your
that's
opinion.
True. I don't know. I did not see
opinion.
the chest till this morning. I did not see the chesting till this morning. Did not see this. They're calling me a hater. Whatever, I'll take it. Whatever. This isn't a game, by saying this is.
He's just doing this for the content.
No,
guys.
I'm not doing this for the content,
dude.
Look, I'll show you right now, dude. I'll show you right now. I can't hear you guys then. Look, if I'm running beside you, right?
You're not going to be able to show the speed of a Premier League centre-back and forward running in your 10-foot living room.
No, okay. My point is you can put your arms down, right? You have to take a risk. You have to take a risk.
Do you know what we would see?
These are professionals.
If people listen to you, we would see. Do you know what we'd see? We'd see a bunch of people trying to dive for the ball like this, like as they're running straight backwards. Like you just see them
behind
like
your back. On your side is okay. Up here, like Gabriel did, is not okay. I'm sorry, Milo. This is not okay.
Rubbish.
This is okay. This is okay.
It's rubbish.
Just say my arm like this is okay. Say it.
No, because right now
this is the situation.
No, it's not. You're just standing there. You haven't been running. You're just literally sitting in a chair, putting your arm in the air. That is not the same context.
No, I'm running. I'm running right now. Okay?
No, you're not. You're sitting in a fucking chair. I can see you.
Dude, you know what I'm saying. If I'm running in the box and my hand is here, is this okay?
You cannot recreate the same conditions that they put in your chair, in your room on this show. You can't do it. You cannot recreate the same thing.
Okay, Hoff, go ahead.
Go ahead, please, for the love of God.
I just have a quick moment of levity. This entire discussion makes me and Musa Sissoko very sad, but it makes Mordecai happy.
It's not even about that.
Look at all these Arsenal fans and City fans.
You know, I haven't been smug about this result for 3 days, but you know what? I'm just going to sit here. We're top of the league, so say what you want. I don't care.
No. Yeah, that's fine.
Don't care.
I don't mind that.
Couldn't care less. Sorry you didn't get your handball. If you think it was a handball, boo fucking who. We're top of the league. There you go. Done.
The heel turn. Yes.
The heel turn. Yeah, exactly.
Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. I'm just saying. This is all I'm saying. I'm just going to do this motion with my hand. Okay?
I'm going to just do this motion with my hand.
That's fine. I'm just saying, if there's any defender in the world that plays football that thinks you can keep your hand out here, you're going to be called for handball. That's all I'm saying. And I can be sitting in my chair right here. It all works. No, look, you guys think this, whatever. It might be content,
we're taking this to the Discord. Probably for the rest of the week.
It's for content. I'm not doing it for content. I'm actually.
Yes, you are.
I'm not doing it for content. I mean, okay. I'm not doing it for that type of content. I know it's like we're allowed to talk about it right now.
Right.
But you can't put your arm out like this when you're anticipating an opponent is going to kick the ball.
Why Liverpool?
Sometimes you don't get to choose that. If you're
what
moving
do you
and
mean
turning,
you don't get to choose that?
You
of
don't
course
get
you don't
to choose
choose
that.
when your opponent kicks the ball.
if you're running, oh my God,
You
we're
have
going
to
to do this again.
anticipate.
Top of the league. Top of the league.
Oh, that's
Top
fine.
of the league
that's
to
fine.
you, boys.
Hey, and I've said many times, you guys deserve the win. Even without that decision, you guys deserve the win, 100%.
I'm glad you agree on that.
But this whole thing about this handball, man, is just this is a big problem because this is the dissonance that's happening within referees. You know,
I'm looking at if you look at the stills of the incident, it definitely, like anything, makes it seem
No, you
nefarious.
just
But if
can't
you
have
watch
your
it,
arm out there.
yeah, you can. Of course you can. If you're running full pelt, sometimes your body parts do
Okay.
things you don't want them to do. Okay.
You can have it out there, but you're gonna get called for handball then. You know?
Well, he
Dan
didn't.
Burn just got it called
No,
for handball.
that's true. He didn't get called. I'm just saying, if you teach defenders to do that, they're gonna get called for handball.
I mean, Tottenham
more
lost
likely
to
than not.
UCL on this call.
No one taught Gabriel to do that, by the way.
Look at all these Arsenal fans and City fans talking shit. Talk your shit, boys. Talk your shit. Jesus Christ.
And we haven't even got to the softest penalty.
What I was surprised about the most this weekend is I had no idea how big of a Liverpool fan cartwheelchamp is. Like, because I found that out this weekend.
I'm
Just
not a Liverpool
massive-
fan.
Massive
I'm not-
Liverpool fan, guys.
Guys, I honestly could care less about who the teams were this weekend. But just know that Arsenal got away with some calls, you know, and never forget it. Never forget it.
Listen, I saw a
That was
screenshot yesterday.
unnecessary. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot. Yeah, you support the club who literally had a ball cross 3 yards over the goal line and it wasn't given. So
Oh,
you're
okay,
in no position to talk if we're going to go down that road.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
an
I'm not-
entire
I'm not-
thing in the Oxford Dictionary called Fergie time, and it's based on that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying I'm a big rule guy. I enjoy the rules and the rules being adhered to.
You enjoy the rules. Okay.
Yeah, and if your hand's out here as a defender and it gets hit by the ball, you should be expecting a penalty. It won't always happen based on the referee's discretion.
No, if you don't, because if like the ref has common sense and you can't get your arm out the way quick enough, yeah, I'm not going to call you for that. It's not a penalty.
No, if it goes off your chest and it hits your arm, sure, yeah, I'm not going to call it either. I'm not going to call it. All right, what other Premier League games we got to talk about, guys? Let's see.
There wasn't any.
There wasn't any.
Apparently.
Let's
we're
see.
not going to talk about the soft pen?
Okay, yeah, we could talk about the soft pen. I thought it was a pen.
I mean,
But see, here is a perfect example. It was
Mordecai,
a
I'm
soft
sorry,
pen,
man. Me
but
and
it was a
Cartwheel,
pen.
me and Cartwheel went at it there. Mordecai, please come back, but don't get him riled up again, please.
he knows when. All I'm gonna say is, I've never seen someone so hurt by being touched so little in my life. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. It might have been a pen, but it was the softest pen I've ever seen in my life. And he sold it really well. He did.
Whenever I say that, though, Mordecai, do you know what other people tell me whenever I say that? That's football now.
He sold it. I'll give him that.
That's that. But whenever I say that, when it's a penalty against my team, I just get told, well, that's what they do.
Yeah, he learned well from Pep.
There are people in this room, Mordecai, that have said that to me. This is just this gamesmanship, right, Cart?
Sorry, hold on.
Making the most of these things.
Sorry, I had to type something.
No, it's fine.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
that
no,
was just the last
I think
one I
it's
wanted
completely
to
fine
say.
what
It's
Jesus
just
did.
really soft. Was it a pen? Probably, but it was.
Technically, it was.
We've seen them given, and we've seen them not given, right? And they're unfortunately, again, that's sure. You know, if it makes you guys feel better about the loss, then sure, it was a tough day refereeing wise.
That doesn't play at any that doesn't even cross my mind who won or lost the game. I swear to God. Yeah, Hoff, the penalty.
My only issue with the soft penalty, it was a pen. It's super soft, but you can't. Yeah, whatever. He sold it. Good for him. Got a pen. The handballs, like I'm looking at a picture of Gabriel with the ball hitting his hand, and to be fair, Jota's foot is like.
Can you share the
stomach.
picture? Oh no!
Yeah,
Do we want to do this?
No.
No.
The still photo should not be used as evidence.
Here we go.
The still
But
photo
you can
should not
also-
be used as evidence.
And you also see
Because I can take it, like you can take a still picture of anything and make it look bad
You can.
because you're capturing just that moment.
All right.
and you have Dan Burn, who has the ball headed from behind him and hits his hand. One is a pen, one is not. I'm not saying one should be, one shouldn't be, both should be, both shouldn't be. Both should be the same. Either they both are or they both aren't. And they both weren't.
Was
That's
that in
all I'm
this
saying.
weekend's game?
Yeah, it was against Brentford, Newcastle.
Do you have
Okay.
pictures of these?
No, not pictures, video.
No
Only video.
We
No
can't
pictures.
do video. We can't do video.
Video. Well, then the evidence shouldn't count because you can you could take a still picture of like the exact moment where his arm's in the worst possible place. That's exact. You know what I mean? Like I totally get it, but it's not taking into account momentum, change of turn, change of pace, any of that stuff.
That's all deficiencies. Those are deficiencies.
No, that's
in the
what
defender.
happened. The still photo is not what happened. The video, the footage is what happened.
I don't know, man. Okay, yeah, all right. If you have the picture, I'd like to see it. We don't have to. I want, you know what I mean. If it's that blatant, whatever. I'm okay. I just hope every single situation. Well, that situation, the ball came off his chest, so it's gonna. It's a moot point in my opinion, right? That Gabriel thing should not have been a handball. It came off his chest. Now, some might argue that even though it came off his chest and hit his arm still shouldn't have been up there. Blah blah blah. I think that is closer proximity. The distance from Jota's ready to kick the ball. He kicks it. If he doesn't hit his chest and it hits his arm, to me, that's.
Yeah, and that's the point Extreme's got there. The picture that you want to see doesn't show the ball hitting the chest, so it won't show the full picture.
We know that now.
But here's the other thing. You also defended Scotty McTominay when he literally juggled the ball with his hands, both hands getting a piece of it, and you didn't think it was a handball in like week 1 or 2.
It was a deflection. It was a deflection.
Okay, but he shouldn't have his hands up in the air.
The first one,
no, he shouldn't have his hands up in the air, right?
You're right. The first one I said
But he did.
No,
and it wasn't given.
You're absolutely right. I'm not saying you got one, we didn't get one, you got one. I'm not playing that game. I'm just calling it straight up as I saw it. At the time, I said the first one, yeah, he shouldn't have his arms up. It came off the attacker. I think it was a Leicester attacker. Somebody. It came off the attacker straight onto his arm. His arm should not have been up there. I said it could have been called. The other one, where it bounced off of his arm onto his other arm, I said that was a proximity one. That was a proximity one. I don't think that is the definition of a proximity. But
if he had his arms
handball
in his shorts, it wouldn't have been a problem, Cart.
Absolutely.
You know? If he was running with his arms.
No,
so all players that are not attacking should 100% be running with their hands in their pockets, or perhaps maybe we should tape them to their thighs, and then there's absolutely no way it can ever happen.
That would be a way to make it never happen. You know, that would be a way to make it ever happen. But McTominay had no idea where the ball was. He was running behind, running to the attacker. Ball comes off of the attacker onto his arm. Should be a penalty. You know, it should be. And that's what I said at the time. Now, when it goes off of his first arm onto his other arm, and you're calling that one to be handball, I don't think that one should be a handball. You know. Can we talk about Trent? Let's talk about Trent.
Yeah, let's talk about Trent.
Let's talk about Trent, and then we'll move on to other games.
I'll defend my boy.
Okay, so first goal of the game, even though it was okay, I got to stop reading chat. These guys have it out for me, man. These guys have it out for me. I got to stop reading it. I got to stop reading chat. Trent on one of the goals. Henderson is on Martinelli. Was it Mordecai? And Trent comes across and just kind of and Henderson, usually in those situations, there'll be some communication between Trent and Henderson, and Trent will take the line run and Henderson will look for the cutback. But they both kind of went for the line and both were played out of the play. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that one.
Initially, before that happens, you see that Thiago and Hendo are on that side, and so Trent runs over to cover the space left behind, and it all falls apart, and he tries to throw a leg in there, and it just goes right through him. The thing about Trent is he needs cover, he needs help, he needs someone to guide him through the game. Once those midfielders step away from that area, you're not utilizing Trent as you should be. So it's like I don't have the clear analogy, but he just needs that defensive midfielder on his side to help cover those. And when the midfield doesn't work that way, his side is always going to be the most exposed. So, was it his fault? And is he struggling at the moment? Yes. He has to come back and relearn his position as of right now, and it's going to be a really tough year for him. And we're going to hear this all year because it's like telling your main attacker that now he has to be a defender.
Fair enough. I don't know. I just think there's just some low effort plays by Trent, and it's becoming unexcusable to me. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Trent's thinking. Has he had too much success too young? He's what, 23 or something like that?
Yeah, he just turned 23 a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. No, okay, dude, these guys in chat, dude. I'm serious. I'm not doing this for stupid reactions and shit, dude. Sorry. Okay, I gotta stop. Sorry. Anyways, yeah. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Trent, Hoff?
I think the security, I'd call it a security blanket where he needs that defensive midfield cover. I think if it was really bad, and I don't know, I just don't know the squad well enough to say, but if he wasn't doing what Klopp wanted him to do, especially I would say from midfield forward, then I don't think Klopp would take him or would select him. I don't think he would for that position. He might move him around, and I also don't know what the cover situation is like. Who would replace him? I don't know if Gomez would play there or what. So, I think as far as a tactical standpoint, I think he's doing, or at least Klopp believes he can do what he wants him to do. It's just a matter of him not executing.
Yep.
I don't think he became this bad defender overnight. He's never been a great defender.
Yeah, fair enough.
And now that the rest, I mean, let's be fair, the rest of the team isn't exactly playing up to the level they were at recently. It's becoming more apparent that is one of, if not the weakest spots on the pitch.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that right back. Who's your guys' backup right back, Mordecai?
We bought an 18-year-old. I think and of course he's injured right now. But other than that, Gomez.
Milner? Oh, Gomez.
In there.
Yeah, Gomez I thought Gomez looked really good at right back. I thought he looked really nice.
Yeah, Gomez played there. He's just not match fit. That's the only issue. I think we're gonna have to start tinkering with having Gomez play out the last fifth. Well, he's gonna start there now probably. I do not want to see Milner in this team. I love Milner. He's one of my favorites, but he needs to not be in the team right now, especially right now. He'll get torched in that.
Yeah.
In that team now. I swear to God, I will burn Anfield down if I see Milner play again.
Gotcha. Whoa. Okay. All right. Strong words. Do not in a video game. Say in a video game after that.
In a video game.
In a video game.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We had other match on Sunday was Everton Manchester United. 2-1 United. Casemiro gives away a goal, makes a goal. Ronaldo scores his 700th goal in his career. Most goals. I think Messi is 9 behind him, but he has like 29 games in hand or something. Some crazy stat. Messi's right behind him. Should surpass Ronaldo. Decent game. I don't know if you guys saw any of this game. Anthony on the score sheet, 3 starts, 3 goals. Rashford had an interesting handball, by the way. Pepe Anthony, as Milo likes to go. Great name. Also, Marcus Rashford. I don't know if you saw that handball. I mean, Milo would blow a gasket if he saw that handball.
I was watching most of that game, but I had to step away for baby-related stuff.
No, all good, all good.
So,
It was okay. And by the way, just that comment is completely consistent with everything we've been talking about. Just anyone who's saying the P word, propaganda. I don't even know what I'd be propaganda for. I do think Rashford will be a good addition in the England squad. What is it? It's over 100 games. Sorry, over 100 games. Sorry. Maybe it's 129 games. That's what it was. Okay, we can. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna close chat. There we go. Closing chat.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
you have to go through it afterwards.
I'm getting distracted. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good game. Good 3 points. Casemiro started for the first game. I don't know if you guys have any comments about that. Calvert-Lewin came back into the fold.
I thought Iwobi's goal. Before we get into United, Iwobi really has become a good player. I saw a feature from Ian Wright talking about him recently, where he was super happy for him and how he's playing in that central role that he said he wanted at Arsenal and was never really given that chance. But yeah, and a really nice goal. I still think probably that inconsistency, you can see it in his performances along with Everton's, but it was a good goal, I thought.
Yeah, it was
really
nice. It was a wild 30-minute game. Yeah, just like Stefan says, Iwobi scored that goal, and then Casemiro got back at him for the other goal.
Exactly. So it's that inconsistency in Iwobi that I'm all too familiar with, but he has really improved and stepped up his game, I think, since he's been at Everton.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Casemiro? It's been so weird seeing him not start, and then he starts, and immediately did Real Madrid know something about him that all of us don't know?
Well, to sell him for that much, I think they weren't gonna, they had his whole farewell procession figured out real quick when that 100 million off or whatever 80 million
that much
offer came in. Yeah, I think with him is you might have noticed it. I feel like I noticed it in the game. Obviously, is he past his prime? Yes. Do people in Spain rag on him a lot? Yes. I feel like getting to the Premier League's pace is part of it, right? He's an older head. Apparently, when he came from, I believe, Porto to Madrid, he took a while to settle in, adjusting to the new league. I think in that game you saw it, right? Onana closed him down real quick, won the ball off of him, and passed it, and then Iwobi got it and scored. That sums up what I think of Casemiro. That instance, he's just a little too slow with his back, getting the ball and turning with it. He's not that type of midfielder, and that's what was. I think that's what was on Ten Hag's mind, getting a 6 that can do that type of turn. So as far as that goes, I don't think we've addressed that in our squad. Do I think he will come good? I don't know. Why did he get the start this week? Is it because this is the first game after the Man City game, and they made that kind of all right, we're not going to start him until the Man City game because we're probably going to get thrashed. And then after the Man City game, we'll put him in for a run of games and see how things go. Maybe. But maybe in games where we have more possession, right? We can depend on him rather than Scott McTominay, who provides better defensive work rate and stuff like that. I think it's a weird move. It's not. Is it the ideal move I think we wanted? No. Is it a panic buy? It's definitely a panic buy. But obviously, I'm an eternal optimist, and I hope things turn good for Casemiro. I don't want to just say he's a flop right away, but he's definitely not worth how much we got or how much we paid for him. That's for sure. I don't think, but who knows? His defending was really good. I think he learned to pick up the pace yesterday. Just within the confines of the Everton game, he picked up his pace and his reaction time. He still had some weird passes. I don't think he's used to this double pivot and how much is demanded of him on the ball, right? He's used to having more sitting midfielders next to him, not just Eriksen. But yeah, what are your thoughts on him, Mordecai?
On Eriksen or
Casemiro?
Oh, Casemiro. I feel like this is the old Manchester United coming back here and there, of panic buying old players based on hype.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I just, I mean, he'll probably be good for a year or two, but is that worth 80 million?
Yeah, no. I mean, when you said old Man United, I was a little hopeful, but you meant like just you meant just like the last couple of years. It's just okay. Yeah, it's just
I mean,
same
it's
old
been
United.
10 years now, so
Gotcha. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how he progresses. I think for Europa League and Premier League, he'll be fine.
yeah.
I'm curious to see who we replace Ronaldo with when the time comes, because it's a big wage and a big shirt and all that stuff. Big role in the squad as well. But we'll see. Let's keep it moving along. We got Brighton versus Tottenham. Oh yeah, go ahead, Hoff. Sorry.
Just real quick, I just wanted to point out Anthony's first touch on his goal was fantastic. I was watching the game and I rewound it just to watch that first touch to set up the shot. It was great. I watched him a little bit in the Champions League with Ajax. I don't remember his finishing being quite that good, but obviously he commanded a high price, so it must have been pretty above average. But that was just a great first touch to set up that goal.
Yeah, I joke about Anthony and Pepe. Obviously, that was something that spawned on this show, that comparison. More in jest than anything. I think I did say to Cart yesterday, I think Anthony is far better suited for the Premier League than Pepe ever was. You can just see it in his movement and strength and the kind of the way he plays. I think he's going to be a really good player for you lot.
Yeah, he looks comfortable. It's a little bit of that flair is nice as well. Football is about entertainment at the end of the day. So it's nice to see that.
As long as his level doesn't drop like Bruno's has, he'll be all right.
Yeah. Alrighty, Brighton, Tottenham, the Harry Kane special.
Yep.
Yeah. 1-0. Any thoughts on the game, Hoff? Anything? I did not see the game. I must say.
Brighton looked good. I think they'll be fine with De Zerbi. I think they will be like when Poch left Southampton and they hired Ronald Koeman, and he finished higher than Poch ever did 2 years in a row. I think De Zerbi will do that with Brighton. He's a great manager, and they've got talent. As long as they can hold on to them, I think they'll be challenging for European spots, whether that's maybe not Champions League, but probably Europa League, Conference League spots. Which for a club that size, I'm not saying they're not a big club, but they're not exactly like one of the first clubs when you think Premier League. Oh, Brighton. That's not, which that would be quite the accomplishment. For Spurs, I think it was a rough week with the conditioning physical coach passing away. Something I didn't realize, he's been working with Antonio Conte since Conte played for Juve.
Oh wow.
So that's where they first met.
76.
Yeah, he was still, relatively young. He was the fitness coach, so he was in pretty good shape, but he had leukemia, which they just diagnosed like recently, like within the last week. And then he had they said the things that I read said it was a hemorrhage, and he died like not immediate, but very suddenly. So yeah, and there was a moment, I forget the match. It was at home, and after the game, Son and Ventrone, the fitness coach, were just like hugging each other for a long time. So I think the players and staff could see his condition like worsen and worsen, and then he finally got that like news that like, oh, you have leukemia. So it was just I think it was an emotional game. I don't know if it does, or it probably does. I mean, they're humans playing. It probably explains part of the performances lately. I'm not saying that's why they lost against Arsenal or that's why they drew against West Ham or whatever, but you're thinking about things like that. Like you look over, you're like, oh damn. But anyways, Erling Haaland is a godsend for Harry Kane, because no one is talking about Harry Kane right now. He scored 8 goals in 8 games so far, and I love it. And Spurs beat Brighton at home. It's the first game that Brighton has lost at home since Tottenham beat them 7 months ago. You got 3 months, so 4 months of game time at the Amex. And just to end it on a Brighton note, Enoch Mwepu today had to announce his retirement because they discovered I don't know if it was the Brighton doctors, but it was discovered that he had a hereditary heart condition. He could still play, but everything I read about it said it gets worse as you get older, so it's just best to cash in your chips now and live a full life and not put that stress on your heart.
For sure. Yeah, well, it's sad for his career, but also good for his life, right? So that's good.
Right. Yeah, it's great that they found out before he collapses on a pitch somewhere.
Yep. Absolutely. Very nice. Other matches this week: Manchester City big win over Southampton 4-0. Chelsea big win over Wolves 3-0. Palace beat Leeds 2-1. I think they came back from 1-0 down. Newcastle destroying Brentford 5-1.
I was gonna say, is it time to start talking about Newcastle?
Let's talk about Newcastle, man. Yeah, go for it.
The investment that they've had, and I mean, it's just crazy. And this January coming up is gonna get worse and worse and worse. I think everybody at the top 6 should be scared of these guys. I mean, I don't have much to say right now, but I'm pretty sure in 2 or 3 months we're all gonna be looking over our shoulders.
Yeah, Guimaraes had a couple of good goals as well.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for Newcastle is because of the up and down nature of their team for the last 10, 15, 20 years. They need to solidify at least the UEFA Cup place to start bringing in the names that money can buy.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's important for them is, and they're making a run. I mean, they're in 6th right now. So it's so super early in the season, but like they have to, if they want to take that next step. It's all well and good having the money, but if you're not in those competitions, it's going to be harder to get those players. They've improved their squad, and I think you're right, Mordecai. I think, there's potentially another team knocking on that door. And if they make Europa League, and then progress from there, they'd be looking to go into Champions League and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's definitely.
It's coming.
And their fans deserve it, to be honest. I'd find it very difficult to begrudge Newcastle some success.
Yeah.
Good football in City.
I think my introduction to Newcastle, my uncle's a big Newcastle fan. He's a big Alan Shearer fan. And his kids are all United fans. Those are my cousins. That's how I got into United. But also that movie, Goal, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that with Newcastle?
Yeah, it was Newcastle.
The Mexican kid or something?
Santiago Munez.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's pretty
cool.
That
was one of the big reasons why I started watching football.
Oh, yeah?
Nice. It's a cheesy ass movie, but it's watchable. Yeah.
See, like when you're a kid in America, at least for me, like those little, like bend it like Beckham, right? Those are like your only like thing you can grasp onto for football.
Or my favorite football movie of all time is, well, actually, my favorite is Escape to Victory, which we've talked about watching in the Discord. But also Shaolin Soccer, which is an absolute classic.
I've heard about that one as well. But yeah, Newcastle are sitting in 6th spot right now. Brighton just behind them on goal difference with a game in hand.
I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and they were talking about they weren't comparing the players, like their skill sets, but they had made the analogy that Bruno is to Newcastle what Yaya was to Man City, at least this far in their career. Obviously, there's a long way to go to accomplish what Yaya Toure did, but I love Bruno Guimaraes, so I hope that he is that for them, because I love watching him play, and I think he's a great player who could shoulder that burden, I think, of being like the guy in the middle of the field for them.
Yeah, he's great. He's fun to watch. Great energy as well. It seems like great attitude.
Yeah.
Manchester City as well.
The
How many did
Haaland
Haaland
show
score?
continues. One.
How many did? Just one.
Just one.
Unbelievable.
Just one.
It's over.
The headlines
over
are
for
all
him.
Haaland, but this will make Extreme happy. You know who's impressing me the most at City this season is Phil Foden.
Foden's been great as well. City's playing
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Cancelo's goal.
very good,
Ooh, he looks like he's looking like a number 7 now or something. You know, playing the way Pep lets him play is like he's basically a winger, and that number 7 makes more sense with the way he's been playing. That goal he scored was great. Yeah, they're playing good. They're playing good. Very good football team.
They're
Write
playing
this
so
down.
well that
Are
even
they still
Jack
talking about-
Grealish looks half decent.
Are they still talking about propaganda in chat? City are playing amazing football. Put that in your propaganda. Jesus Christ.
Even Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish. Yeah, I was playing with Jack Grealish just now on eFootball. He's amazing.
I got that card as well. Yeah, he's not bad. Though. It's quite a
he's
fun card.
He's fun. He's fun. Let's do a quick kind of maybe Serie A Bundesliga roundup. We had a big Bundesliga match. Let's talk a bit of that, and then we'll just quickly hit other
Yeah,
leagues.
we'll make it quick because our ridiculous handball discussion took up like half an hour of the show.
you know, it did. These are facts. We're speaking facts. We can speak facts. All right, let's do Bundesliga. Okay. I'm gonna pull up my. Oh, I don't have my results page anymore. Let me go find that. But yeah, big match of the weekend. Bayern Munich, Dortmund Bayern Munich, at Dortmund, 2-2. Hoff, you wanna chat a bit about that?
Sure. It was actually a really entertaining game. I'm sure Bayern fans aren't very happy. If you have been on Twitter at all over the weekend, you probably saw Oliver Kahn's reaction.
Oh yeah.
To the equalizer. But anyways, Leon Goretzka scored the first, and Leroy Sané hit a beautiful shot. Both goals, I feel like, and I know I'm biased, I feel like the keeper should have saved both of them. Especially the second one, because he got his hand to it, but it still went in. The first one, it seemed like he had a half-assed dive attempt at it, and I think it was just his foot positioning was off. Anyways, the game changed for me when Anthony Modeste came on, which I don't think I've ever said or anyone has ever said in the history of the world. But he came on, he sets up Moukoko, to pull it back 2-1. And much like Antony's goal, he had a great setup touch. I don't know why I'm noticing this more, but he was kind of off balance. He gets a setup touch and just kind of pokes it past Neuer. It was a nice goal. And he celebrated by shoving Neuer, which was kind of cool. Neuer was holding the ball and he was trying to get it back from him. And anyways,
easy yellow card, right? You got a yellow card.
Yeah.
No.
Then Kingsley Coman got a double yellow red card. You can't really argue with it. And then the big moment at the end of the game, 95th minute. Nico Schlotterbeck keeps the ball in on the end line as you're facing the goal. He's on the right-hand side, and he crosses it to the back post, and Anthony Modeste is right there to nod it in. Yeah, and Modeste did miss a sitter not too terribly long before that. It could have been 3-2, but they split the points.
I think it's sorry.
I was just going to say, Alphonso Davies, and he went off with a concussion. So we'll see how that affects him. Hopefully it doesn't linger into the World Cup, because I know they can do that, but hopefully it doesn't. And Bellingham, he could have been sent off. The referee had a weird game. I feel like he got some calls right and some calls wrong. But yeah, hopefully Davies recovers, and that's Dortmund ended their 8-match losing streak to Bayern, which I don't know if it's. I mean, it was great that they came back from 2 goals down, but I don't know if the mentality has changed yet.
I think that's the first time since 19. Okay, I could be getting this wrong again, like the Messi numbers, but it's like something like 1989, first time they've come back against Bayern, but down by 2 or something.
Oof.
Might have been 99. I don't know. It's a long time. First time they've come back from 2 goals down. But yeah, there was a Jude Bellingham situation. I think it was 42nd minute. A bit of a high boot, and the ref did not give a second yellow. Man, Bellingham. I'm a big fan of Bellingham. The more I watch him, the more I like him. This is like, he's like my favorite type of player. You know, like an attacking 8. You know, just that type of player. I love it. But yeah, it's good stuff. Bayern are now in 4th place, or where are they sitting?
Third, tied with
third place.
Dortmund.
Yep,
tied with Dortmund, ahead by on goal difference. Nice. Should we move on to Serie A?
Sure.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief.
Sure.
Biggest game of the weekend was definitely Milan-Juve. Struggles, somewhat struggles, continue. They're definitely not had the start that they would have wanted to have. And like I think I said in week 1, just their squad just doesn't seem like a Juve squad, you know? I don't know. It just doesn't. Maybe it's just because they've had some big names there recently. But Rafael Leao was looking the sharpest player on the pitch. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. Tomori and Brahim Diaz scored a great solo goal to give him the 2-0. Like from about the halfway line, picked it up and off he went. That was a really good goal.
You see his celebration?
Yeah.
He did the Lionel Messi celebration when he holds up his shirt, like he did at El
I did see
Clasico a
that.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
He was holding it up.
He's got the 10, right?
Yeah.
As well. Yeah, I did see that. Just at the end of the video there. Yeah. So, Milan up to 5th in the table. They're tied with Udinese and Lazio. They're sitting on top on goal difference of that group. Juve in 8th, but they're 10 points off top spot. So I don't think Juve are going to be able to put up much of a Scudetto challenge this season. Lazio continue their dominant form. 4 wins in a row under Sarri's team is playing some really nice football as well. They're 3rd now. Udinese 2, Atalanta 2. So Atalanta's still unbeaten. We're on Atalanta watch now officially because they are they're into season, no losses, and this time they got a 2-2 draw against another team that have been doing really well, Udinese. So both those teams have been doing well. Atalanta are 2nd in the league, and Udinese are in that 3-way tie for 3rd to 5th. So yeah, it was a good game there. Napoli continued their thing. The Georgian wonder kid, obviously, we're always thinking about Kvaratskhelia. I picked him up on my FIFA career for Arsenal, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Yeah, I've been just started one, playing with some sliders, all that kind of stuff. We'll get into that later, but yeah, it didn't last long. So Napoli really looked good, top of the table by 2 points. Elsewhere, Roma 2, Lecce 1. Paulo Dybala and Chris Smalling again on the score sheet for Roma. That's his 3rd goal of the season. And in Serie A, apparently he is the biggest threat in the air in the league. Who would have thought? that would be the case. So yeah, Inter as well. They're back to winning ways. They beat Sassuolo 2-1. Edin Dzeko having a good season for Inter. Keeping, like Lautaro Martinez isn't getting the goals for them right now. So yeah, interesting. Serie A is always entertaining. I enjoyed catching up with it this week. So we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the table now. 4 points between first and sixth, which is always exciting.
Yeah. Oh, I can't see it. I can see it going on for a lot of the season because there's so many teams that can beat each other there.
Absolutely.
Just
quickly and Hoff.
Sorry, just real quick. Dybala got hurt in the Roma game. He might miss the World Cup.
Yeah, it's looking like he's gonna miss it.
I saw he got hurt. Yeah, I meant to mention that. It's even in my notes.
That's got to be tough, man. That's got to be real tough. To be honest, I don't know how much. I wonder for Argentina if kind of injuries will kind of help chisel the squad down naturally. Less. I don't know. There's like some. I feel like there's some psychology that could be good for Lautaro or something in that situation.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know.
Do you think because he's linked with Tottenham, he's just playing with fear? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Mourinho said, "You're hurt. You are hurt."
Yeah. Let's see. Spain, real quick. I'm just gonna go over the top of the table. What we got going on? Barcelona, Celta de Vigo. 1-0. Real unconvincing win, but they scraped by, Pedri picking up kind of a deflected goal or a deflection leading to a goal. They now sit atop of La Liga on goal difference. Real Madrid also just a 1-0 win against in the derby against Getafe. A header from Eder Militao. Sevilla still unable to get a W. They drew with Atletico Bilbao. Bilbao are third in the table. Sampaoli has taken over at Sevilla. There's a pretty funny video. I don't know if you guys have seen. Have you seen that Jordan Poole video or Key and Peele video when like Jordan Poole pretends like he's Obama and he's saying like hello to everybody going and like he like gives a proper handshake and then to the black people he like gives them a hug. Brothers, It's like there's this video online. I don't know if you guys have seen it when Sampaoli's going through the Sevilla dressing room saying hello to everybody, and he's like hello, hello, and then the Argentinian guys he's like giving him a hug and kissing him, and then he's like saying hello, hello to everybody else. It's pretty funny, but he's in charge there, so he got a point. I think he made 7 or 8 changes to the starting 11 there. Atletico Madrid win 2-1. Late Hector Correa a brace. 2 goals from early on, and then Hector Herrera, in typical Atletico Madrid fashion, gets a red card at the end of the game. Just looking at the table, Barca Madrid atop, just separated by goal difference. Next week is El Clasico, so that'll be good. October 16th, so that'll be fun. We'll see those two clash. Atletico Bilbao in third, Madrid in fourth. Atletico Madrid in fourth, tied on points with Betis and Sociedad. So things are looking pretty exciting. You got your 2 guys in the front that you think, but Bilbao putting up a good effort in third right now. So looking forward to El Clasico. Will be pretty exciting. Yeah, Sevilla still in the drop zone. Guys, is there anything we need to rehash before we get into our games for the evening?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
You could check the Discord if you want to look at the stuff.
No. The still footage is no good. We're not going there. We're not.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying they're. I'm just giving the information. I'm giving the people what they want.
That's not all the information.
All right.
It's only the stills.
Sorry, I'm just gonna look. Do you guys have the upcoming matches this week, tomorrow and
Champions League? Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull them up here. Let's see, what's the big match? Chelsea at Milan. Did you hear Tomori? Tomori said we did not. The Milan that played away at Chelsea last game was not the real Milan. So
I hope not for their sake because they got
right.
They got trounced. Yeah, they were not good in that game at all. I had that one on at work. Napoli-Ajax, a rematch. I mean, Napoli gave them a right beatdown last week.
So that'll be interesting.
Then Barcelona and Inter, right?
That's the big one.
Another
big one.
year of Barcelona being in the Europa League again.
It's possible. It's very possible.
I don't know. I think Stefan will have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Stefan, what do you think? Do you think you're going to get the points from this one? Who scored the goal? Oh, I can't say that guy's name. Çalhanoğlu?
Çalhanoğlu,
Çalhanoğlu.
yeah. Çalhanoğlu. Let's see. What is the situation? Barca's in third currently. Inter's in second with 6 points. But yeah, could be interesting there.
So one of those two is going to be in the Europa League.
Yeah,
because Bayern's probably going to win the group, most likely. So that'll be interesting.
Is it weird that it's all reverse fixtures this week?
Yeah, well, it's just the kind of they mirror the fixtures. So
yeah,
they don't.
The first team you play is the last team.
No, because they're more spread out though normally too.
Right. Okay.
So I think they got lazy with scheduling. Like, oh, just flip them.
I think they do that in Spain, right? I mean, for the league, they mirror the schedule. I think.
Yes, we have Bodo again.
Rafa Benitez went on a big rant about that a couple years ago, about how England should do it like Spain instead of thinking about TV revenue.
I love Rafa, but he says some wild things.
I'm looking forward to the Bodo Arsenal game because I'm looking forward to seeing Fabio Vieira play more. I honestly have been really impressed with him, man.
He looks nice. He looks really nice.
He does, yeah.
He looks really nice. Real quick, before we get into the games, Mordecai, who's been your favorite outside of Klopp and this little period? I don't know for how long have you been following Liverpool?
Probably since 2006.
Okay. Who's been your favorite manager in that time? I know I'm just kind of springing this on you.
I mean, it's hard to say anything bad about King Kenny.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't see a lot of the good times with him, but I know he's really revered, and I've seen old videos and I've watched documentaries about him. But I would probably say Kenny Dalglish would probably be my favorite.
Not Brendan Fraser?
Brendan is. Let's not talk. Well, at least he's not. He's just a weird guy. He's just a weird guy. I can't sugarcoat it. He's just a weird guy.
Rafa was good for you lot too, right?
Yeah.
Rafa was good.
You guys had
really
Hodgson.
Defensive manager though. I don't know if if we had Rafa today, I don't think people would like him as much as he was. Just really. It was a different time. That's all I would say. And I know that's a little bit weird with Liverpool fans because we all have 2005.
It's just weird that you were so good in Europe and just couldn't get near the Premier League. Very bizarre, yeah.
A lot of it was a lot of it is mentality. I mean, a lot of teams can, once you fall off, it's the whole reason why Klopp changed the team is all mentality, doubters to believers, and it really is a big thing in football. But definitely, let's not talk about Hudson. No.
I remember watching those semifinals against Chelsea in the Champions League. Those were great occasions, great games.
Yeah, for sure. But probably. And he was the last one to win a title since Rafa, and he stabilized the club during that horrible, what were those guys? Hills and Gillette. Hicks and Gillette. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't erase that from my memory. I remember when we were close to going to administration. I was like, I was looking up things. How does this work? What's gonna happen? How does a bank own the football team? What's gonna? No, and a lot of people right now are talking about FSG this and FSG out that. They don't remember those days at all.
Right.
And I think maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm still FSG in, but I know it's the team's gonna fracture a lot this year.
Yeah, I think it's a you got to have a lot of good pieces, a couple aging pieces like you mentioned, and I think it'll be interesting to see. I think you know, I don't think if you guys can get Champions League, that'd be amazing. But I think I'm looking at Liverpool as a year transition, kind of recuperating, and then kind of go from there.
Yeah, if we sign good midfielders, I think that'll help the team out a lot. And then if we figure out what to do with Darwin, I mean, that's probably been the biggest thing this year. Is he's been, even when he's not playing, the team is confused as to how to play.
Right.
Because he takes up such a big. When we have an out-and-out striker, Salah doesn't know what to do. Does he stay wide? Does he come in? And then we have Jota in there. Who's the 9? Nobody knows. And
Right.
I mean, Diaz is still good, and now he's out. So it's Klopp has his work cut out for him now. Now we're gonna see.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into the games, guys. Let's play a little bit of categories, guys. It's the rave taking over the nation. It is categories. We need to get a jingle there. Categories. Categories.
So now we hide chat, right?
Category.
We hide. Oh, whoa. There we go. Yeah, hide chat. If you haven't already. No.
Are we doing? Because I've prepared one.
Yeah, so I think Hoff and Milo have one each tonight. Milo, how about you go first?
Yeah.
This will be my first hosting, but I also I had a bit of a panic attack about whether we've done this one or not.
So okay, what is?
I don't think we have, because I'm looking at the names. I mean, there's names that we've had before, but they're in a different category, I believe.
Ooh,
so
clues already.
Hoff, tell me if I'm wrong, but we'll start with. Should we go around like cartwheel, Hoff, Mordecai, or do you want to go reverse? We'll do the guest first.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm not as well versed as you guys are, so it's gonna be. I'm gonna have a rough day, but
this category should be fun for everybody. I have 28 names in front of me. Okay, so there's plenty of options. All of these players have scored 30 or more goals in the European Champions League or European Cup.
Okay. Wait. Okay. In Europe or wait. In Europe.
In the Champions League, or as it was formerly known, the European Cup. All of these players have scored 30 or more goals.
Okay. So not UEFA Cup or Europa League, any of that.
And if any of these tallies are wrong, it's the website's fault, not mine. It's only going to be off by 1 or 2. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So who wants to go first?
I'm not even gonna make a list. I'm just gonna.
You're gonna shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, Mordecai.
Go with Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard is not on the list.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Rough start.
I'm gonna give you a mulligan. Can we give him let's give him a mulligan.
Yeah, you can have a mulligan. The guest definitely should get.
I'll go with his teammate Luis Suarez.
Luis Suarez not on the list.
Wait, hold on. What's the rules again? Champions League goals.
30 or more Champions League goals.
Oh.
How many goals does he have in the Champions League?
Let me
Probably
find.
got like 28.
Jesus,
he's gonna be there somewhere. Let me have a look.
Wow.
By the way, I picked him because he's a
30.
Liverpool guy. I have other names on my list.
Luis Suarez has 27 according to my research.
Wow.
Well, he had that thing in Barcelona, right, where we couldn't score goals.
All right, Hoff, for the win, but
The
we're
first
gonna
round
keep going.
knockout.
No, we gotta keep going.
We gotta keep going. We're gonna keep going.
All right, Raul.
Raul is correct.
Yeah.
All right, Raul. All right, now for real, maybe. Unless we all get it
Raul
wrong.
got 71, so he was number 5 on the list.
Wow. Okay.
And Zlatan.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic is correct. 46 goals.
Lionel Messi, one of the greatest players of all time.
Messi number 2 on the list with 127 goals.
Karim Benzema.
Benzema number 4 on the list with 86 goals.
We're gonna take the easy one with Ronaldo.
Yep. 140.
Portuguese Ronaldo.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, number 1 on the list.
I'm gonna go with a pick from the heart. Wayne Growlith Rooney.
Wayne Rooney is correct with 30 goals exactly.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I don't know his middle name, by the way.
Wow.
I just made that up. It sounded right. Damn, he has 30? Only 30?
Yep.
Jesus.
Jeez.
Robert Lewandowski.
Lewandowski is correct. He's number 3 on the list with 89.
Are you saying Leonard Dosky?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait.
I just say Lewandowski.
Leonard. Interesting. Okay.
Lewandowski, yeah, I'll just, yeah.
It's the traditional Polish pronunciation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's my Polish English roots.
I'm gonna go with Didier Drogba.
Didier Drogba is correct, and he has 44 Champions League goals.
Hold on, I'm just putting a... I'm going to go with another one from the heart. Ruud van Nistelrooy?
Ruud van Nistelrooy is correct. 56 goals.
Ruud.
What are you talking about, Wallode? You guys can't see the chat.
No.
I can't see it now.
All right. I got a shower after this anyways, so I'll say Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry, 50 goals. Yeah, whoa. We're getting there.
How many?
I'm gonna go
how many?
with
Sorry.
Zidane.
Zidane is not on the list, so Mordecai, you are potentially bowing out of this round if the other two get a correct answer.
This is what I'll do. I'll go for one I'm a little sketchy about.
Okay.
Ryan Giggs.
Incorrect. Hoff
Okay.
can win it.
Ooh. Oh gosh, I don't think he got 30. Mario Gomez?
Mario Gomez is not on the list. Everyone's back in.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go with Brazilian Ronaldo.
R9 is not on the list.
Not on the list.
No.
Wow.
He
What is
is. I don't know how many he got, but he's not. Well, I'm just making sure I didn't mess up. No, he's not there.
Wow.
I'm going to go with... This could be wrong, too. David Villa?
David Villa is not on the list.
Jesus.
Hoff with another chance to win it.
Okay. I think I might have it. Maybe not. Fernando Torres.
Oh, got to be.
Fernando Torres is not on the list.
Oh, man.
So everyone back in again.
Man.
Oh, I have... Okay. I'm not even saying the names I have written down. Not that they're correct, but... I just keep,
by the way,
keep
right-
thinking of people.
You said Brian Giggs earlier. He's got 28. Can I just say as well, Erling Haaland already has 28.
Jesus.
Just throwing that out there. Mario Gomez was on the list with 26, by the way.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
All right,
Man.
no.
It really makes you... How many do we have done, by the way? Approximately.
You've done 20.
Approximately how many are left, would you say? Like 15?
I think we have 10.
I've got 17 names left. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me see.
I see some correct names in chat, so don't be looking at chat.
I'm not looking at
Nope.
chat.
Well done,
Heart's
chat.
been out of
Di
chat since-
Stefano.
Di Stefano is correct.
Let's go.
That's
in the
all.
European
Gotta go
Cup.
old.
Yeah. Di Stefano. I will say this: there's not that many old players on the list, but Di Stefano's in there with 49 European Cup goals. Yeah, for Real Madrid mostly.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Thomas Muller.
Thomas Muller is correct with 52.
Nice.
Here's my next guess.
Beauty.
Off, no pressure, but you need this one to stay in.
All right. Alessandro Del Piero.
Del Piero, 42 goals. He's in.
Yes.
Ooh. See, like when you say that, I just think of a whole another set of players that could be completely wrong.
That's what my mind is going back.
That's I don't want to give anything away. There's some names in here that you're gonna be like, oh my god, of course.
There's already.
Did we say Thomas Muller?
Yeah, we did.
Cartwheel just said that. Yeah.
Why am I only? I'm gonna go with Hugo Sanchez.
Hugo Sanchez is incorrect.
Ooh.
Oh man. I am. Did he get 30 though? What? How?
You haven't said a name, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's true. We'll find out.
I don't think he got 30. Shevchenko.
Yes, he did. 48.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
48 goals for Shevchenko.
Sheva.
right, Harvey.
Francesco Totti.
Totti is incorrect, which means Cartwheel wins.
Oh! Let's go, Sheva. Could I just take another guess?
Yeah, go on.
I'm just curious. How many did Robin have? Did he have 30?
Robin had 31, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
That would have been another guess.
So the other players on the list were Gento, who I don't remember. So he had 30. Griezmann with 30. Eto'o with 30. Robin 31. Well. Morientes 33.
Ooh. Okay.
Sorry, who had 31? Just that was Eto'o.
Ian Robin.
Oh, Robin. Okay.
Yeah. Gerd Müller with 34. Kylian Mbappe has 36 already.
Really?
By the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Puskas with 36. Mo Salah 38.
Mo Salah?
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Of course.
Sergio Aguero 41.
Of course.
Neymar 42. Eusebio 46. And Zlatan. Did anyone say Zlatan? Yeah, someone said that.
Yeah,
that was it. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Oh, it was a good one. I'm glad we did
that. Was a good one. Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
Yeah, let's. We'll have to save the other one for next week, Hoff.
Okay.
Sure.
You know. But
Easier
yeah, that
for
was
me.
a good one. Man, I can't believe Neymar, Mbappe. They literally. It's not that, like I thought of them and I was like, no, they don't have 30. It was just never even occurred.
Yeah.
You know?
You kind of go backwards in time for some reason.
Other players on 30 as well. Kaká. I don't know if anyone said Kaká.
I was gonna say Kaká. When I said Sheva, I was thinking about saying Kaká.
But when you start looking below the 30 threshold, like Trezeguet 29.
I almost said Trezeguet.
Yeah, Kluivert 29. Roy Mackay 29.
Oh,
you know,
I
like
have Mackay written down too.
Was Romario anywhere there?
Romario is where was he? No, he's not. Rivaldo's got 27.
How many goals did we find out? How many goals Ronaldo R9 had?
20.
Someone said like 19.
Okay.
Oh, really?
19?
What about was Giroud on the list? No.
Not on my list. Only goes to 24. Which, by the way, Paul
okay.
Scholes was the bottom of my list.
Oh, amazing. Overachieving, I'd say.
How many did Gerrard have, by the way?
Gerrard, I don't have. He's not on the list that I'm looking at. So this isn't the list of every player ever. It's just like the top top 24 goal scorers and above. But like, yeah, there's some like. The other thing is the appearances, guys. Erling Haaland, 28 goals in 22 games.
Yeah, he's
in the Champions League. Let that sink in.
He's crazy.
Because when you look at the rest of their numbers, I mean, Gerd Muller's ratio was about the same, 34 goals in 35 European Cup games. But like, yeah, for the modern era, there's no one close to that ratio.
Yeah.
Kylian Mbappe, I guess, would be the other one. He's
Mbappe.
36 in 56. So I mean, his ratio is 0.64. But Haaland's is 1.27. That's the
Is
goal per
Walid on the
game.
list? Yeah,
Walid.
I'm just seeing him in chat.
Yeah, no, Walid gave me a hard time about my pronunciation. That's why I called him Walode halfway through the quiz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lenadowski. Lenad.
Yeah. I don't know, I've always called him Lenadowski. It's like Kalahangalu.
Alrighty, guys. We're wrapping up nearing the end of the show. Anything, what's coming up on stream, Milo?
More F1 Manager this week. I've got early access. Well, not early access, but I've got the 3-day early access to NHL 23. So I'll be checking that out one night, probably later this week. I'm going to play it, but I'll probably check it out on stream at some point. F1 Manager, oh, God knows what else. Days Gone. Yeah, come by the stream.
Everything's happening.
Yeah.
Hoff, how's fantasy going, by the way?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't even look this weekend because I was losing.
No.
I still haven't fixed my team, so I got no points again.
Oh, gosh.
no.
Milo's tanking for draft picks.
Yeah.
I am mid-table in the Premiership with a 5-1-4 record.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I lost, though, because Martial went out early. He could have won for me, but can't depend on him, man.
Yeah, man, he's got injured again. I forgot to mention that. He comes in. He has a better goal scoring record than Haaland, by the way. Just remember that, everybody. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just keeps getting injured, and it's just he's so okay.
7.
I'll get into that later. We can get it later. Yeah, guys, follow Hoff on Twitter, and Mordecai is in the streams and in Discord and stuff. Catch him
always
there.
be in chat.
Yeah, Mordecai, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. It was nice
one of our
being here.
guests had to drop out, so we had you stay on for the whole show. We were planning, guys, just so you know, we were planning on having Mordecai on just for the Liverpool section of the Arsenal-Liverpool section, just to have a little bit of balance, because, I like to keep things balanced and unbiased and propaganda-free, as you all know. So, but yeah, if you know someone who would like to join for Chelsea, Milo, Hoff, Mordecai, chat, or somebody who's Walid, if you want to join, you're welcome to join. A Barca fan, if you want to join for the Barca section of the stream. I'd like to make it more get more people involved.
We
can have 6
who
people
we should
on the
get
stream.
on for the Chelsea segment for ratings. Roman Abramovich.
Oh,
What's he doing?
oof.
Well, he's recovering, right?
He's got some free time, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, we need a City fan as well. Sorry, before you guys, crucify me.
Anyone
We
but
need
a
City-
Let them have a battle royale and fight it out, and the remaining one can come on the show.
There you go. But yeah, we can have you guys come in and out. You don't have to stay for the full 2 hours, or have tons of talking stuff or whatever.
Extreme.
Hop in, hop out.
If you're in, you must wear your Phil Foden pajamas.
There we go. Yeah, and your life-size Pep doll or whatever you have.
It's a pillow.
Milo, do you have a dad joke for us this evening? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go, guys, and here is Milo with the weekly dad joke to sign us off. Milo, take it away.
I saw on the news this week there was a ship carrying red paint and a ship carrying blue paint collided in the middle of the ocean. Both crews were marooned.
Oh, very nice. I like that one. Shout out to Maroon Chords.
Yeah,
Guys.
shout out to Maroon Chords. He's not here.
Alrighty, guys. Good night. Good night.
All right,
Good night, guys.
That was fun, though. That was good. I honestly did not know. I was not doing that for propaganda or anything. Okay. I'm just this whole idea of propaganda. No. It was just. Anyways.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and run down the street with my arms out by the side.
Oh, check
I can.
It's in there. Show your emotion.
Oh man. Alrighty, guys.
See you guys. Good night.
See you guys.
All right.
Adios.
It's the Monday weekend wrap up. 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 It's the Monday weekend wrap up.